What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Now, if you saw a confused look on my face, that's because when I was looking at the lineups for this Highlanders side, they seem to have lost a huge amount of players from last season, which in a way is good for me because it means hopefully we are going to get a slightly easier game. But on the other hand, we do want to be playing against the best teams and beating the best teams, but still a very strong side. Still, obviously, Fikatoa in there, still Ben Smith, no Liam Sapawanga. So we do just need to be careful. But anyway, enough about that. I don't really have too much to talk about in regards to this career mode. Over the coming weeks, basically what I am going to do these videos as is almost a review of the Mitre 10 Cup. So just the results and how everything has gone, how the table's looking, who's looking good, etc, etc. So I'm actually recording this video on a Sunday, so there is still, oh god dag, how that isn't a scrum, I don't know, but hopefully we do not lose the ball here and we can kick out sooner rather than later. But anyway, oh my god, we just can't get off our own bloody try line. Give us a penalty, ref. I just cannot get forward. Here we go, we've made like 2 metres. For some reason Dan Carter's playing at bloody... Oh, there we go, now it's going to be a bloody scrum. It's going to, for some reason, Dan Carter is playing at halfback, which just completely confuses me. But again, what I'm talking about in this Highlanders lineup, no Aaron Smith, which is very, very strange. So maybe they have lost him, and he possibly has gone elsewhere, maybe overseas, maybe another Super Rugby franchise. I'm not 100% sure, but enough about that. We need to focus on getting the win. We also need to focus on talking about the Mitre 10 Cup results. So, what I was saying before we went and almost conceded that try is that I am recording this video on the Sunday, so there are still 2 games left to go, which I'm not 100% sure who they are, but I have got down a note of all the other scores. So we're going to start off with Thursday's game, which kicked everything off. You're joking. Why would you take a drop goal inside the first 20 minutes? That is just appalling, and I do not appreciate that, Highlanders. We are not playing a test match here. We are not playing in England. We are not playing in South Africa. We do not take drop goals. We score tries. We got to get it back. We got to win this. We got to win this, and we got to get a try just to restore a bit of pride to the New Zealand people. But anyway, moving on to that. Finally, the first game played on Thursday night, played between Harbour and Counties Manukau, and this was a game, very close game, which surprisingly quite a lot of the games have been very close, bar one, which I will get to in just a little bit. But 20-17 to Harbour, so as I said, very, very close, and you know, that is something that I think has happened in recent times, is that a lot of these sides, a lot of these provinces, I guess you would say, you know, are very close. There are a few that do stand out from the rest, and as I said, we will get to that in just a second, but a lot of it is very close, and it is a tournament where really anyone can beat anyone can beat everyone on any given day. You know, you go back probably over the past 10 years, it really has been all Canterbury. I think before last year, they didn't win last year from memory, but before that, I think Canterbury won like 7 years in a row possibly, so it just shows obviously their dominance in the tournament, but it is nice to have a little bit of a change. Oh, get there, Ndolo. Unlucky, bro, unlucky, and it's been stolen away by Ben Smith. It's a great take by Colin Slade. Poor pass though, very, very poor pass. But anyway, so we've had that. The next game, Northland versus Counties Manukau. A lot of these games, as I said, are very close, but they are also very high scoring. Teams in this tournament do like to run the ball, which, you know, it is a good thing. It is a really good thing to watch for the neutral. But Northland versus Manukau, a guy who I actually went to school with, funny story, is actually playing for Northland this year. So well done to him for going and, I guess, making that next step and making it up into that side. It couldn't be... You know, it obviously is hard to crack, and you know, you're playing almost now, I would say probably as a semi-professional. I wouldn't class ITM Cup players, you know, as professional rugby players. It wouldn't be their job. They probably would still have something, I should say, on the side that they're doing, and we just keep giving the ball away in, you know, positions that we can go and probably look to capitalise on. So hopefully we can change that around in the second half. Go DC. Yes, we will definitely take that. Right on the stroke of half-time, a piece of brilliance from Daniel Carter gets us our first try on the board. Just a wee grubber. It was definitely on. We haven't been able to break through the tackles or get around players like we are used to. So instead, we have gone, put foot to ball, got a good bounce, and we have gone and recovered nicely to head into the break-up 7-3, and we'll definitely take that. Dan Carter, all those points in the first half. But yeah, as I was saying, I wouldn't really class a Mitre 10 Cup player as a professional rugby player, probably semi-professional. They still do get paid for it and probably do get paid quite well compared to, you know, just your average Joe who's doing an office job. But they probably do still have that office job or have something a little bit part-time, because it's one of those things, a lot of these players, you know, come the end of the season, you know, a lot of them, you know, don't have that work after this. Obviously, once the Mitre 10 Cup is finished, you know, they may not have a Super Rugby contract. Oh, Kieran Reid breaks through. Beautiful, boys. May not have a Super Rugby contract to go back to and fall back on, you know, in the summer, I guess. You know, I was just trying to think what season we're in. It's real weird because at the moment outside, it is a bloody beautiful day. But yeah, very strange. So they wouldn't have that to go back on in the summer. So that's an interesting point, I guess, to take into account. But anyway, back to that high-scoring game, 34-27 to Manawatu. So they picked up their first win. And I think Manawatu did fairly well last season. I think they were up towards the top of the table. I'm not sure if it was in the Premiership or the Championship. I will explain that concept probably next week because we probably won't have time for it. And again, I'm not 100% sure on how it works myself. Next game, a game that I did catch the... no, I didn't catch the back end of this one. Caught the back end of the next one, which was Bay of Plenty taking on the Taranaki. And the Naki, they got up in that one 30-22. So as you can see, it's been very, very close games so far and very even games. You know, just obviously 3 points in it, 7 points in it, and then 8 points in it. So very, very close. The next game was between Wellington, who are another team that I do consider probably a powerhouse in this tournament. And they did start off very slow against the Hawke's Bay, against the Magpies, but they did get they got their A into G towards the back end of the second half, which, you know, you do expect those teams, those bigger teams, bigger provinces, to really go and flex their muscles, and that is what they did towards the back end. So 26-36, again only 10 points in it, but a very entertaining game to watch for the neutral. I think I tuned in with about 20 minutes left to go, and in that time a lot of tries had been scored, and it was a very good game for the neutral to watch, so very, very enjoyable. So 10 points in that one. The last game I'm going to talk about here today is something, you know, I've said how close games are, and I said there are teams that are possibly a cut above the rest and have been more successful in the past than the rest, and that is talking about my very own Canterbury side. Now, they got their season off to the perfect start, kept Auckland tryless, almost kept them pointless, and this was a very good game. I didn't catch the end of this one, but I did see majority of the game, majority of the first half, and what a first half it was. I think the second half things did slow down a little bit. I think there were only 14 points that were scored, but damage was done at the half-time interval. 29-3 at half-time. The game finished 43-3. And as I said, just absolute dominance. And it is so good to get one over arch rivals Auckland, because Canterbury and Auckland, for those who don't live in New Zealand and those who don't know, is probably... well, it probably is the biggest rivalry in New Zealand, you know, not only sporting-wise, but just anything. You know, Aucklanders think they're better at better than Cantabrians at a lot of things. Cantabrians think they're better than Aucklanders at a lot of things. And it is just a good rivalry. It's one of those things that I think you just brought up with, and it's just, you know, I don't know what it is, but everyone in New Zealand, and I'm not saying this like anything against Auckland, because I do have a lot of friends from Auckland, and Auckland is a nice place when I have been there, you know. But for some reason, a lot of people in New Zealand that live outside of Auckland don't like Aucklanders. And again, I'm not too sure why this is. I'm sure it's probably the same in other countries in Australia. You know, in England, there's probably a certain area or a certain province or state, I guess you would call it, where, oh God. Oh, Izzy Dag! What a tackle! The try line was there. It was almost a Malachi Fukitoa moment where, you know, the try line was beckoning and all he had to do was just pop it down, but not the case. And we get out of jail there. Possibly that potentially could be a game-saving tackle. We're only up by 4 at the moment, remember. And Namani, what are you up to, son? We just need to make sure we don't get into the same position that we were in before, which was a position of danger. So we're just going to pump this one out early, which is what we've done. And it's a good wee kick, actually, down towards the 10-metre line. But it's good, and we just need to, if we can win one against the throw here, and then just keep it amongst the forwards, which is what we've done. We haven't kept it amongst the forwards, though, which is a little bit, I was going to say of a concern, but we may possibly... Oh, Izzy Dag! It's just those cutout balls, just those long balls that we do just seem to miss. Oh, and that's a huge chance. That's a quick throw as well. I don't know how you do that, but we are now at the futon. The futon? We're not playing on a futon. There's no futons involved. The full-time hooter has just gone. And basically now, last play. So any type of... well, no, not an infringement here, I should say. Any type of knock-on, or, you know, the ball goes into touch or the ball's turned over, it is going to be game over. So hopefully we can get this sooner rather than later. And that's perfect. We will absolutely take that knock-on, son. You little beauty. The Crusaders get up in the Southern Derby against the Highlanders 14-10. I'm going to wrap things up here, guys. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter. Links to that can be found down below in the description. Hope you're having a good week so far. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. I've got more Don Bradman batting career coming your guys' way. Make sure you do not miss that.